The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, ambition inspired, and success achieved. Everything has its wonders, even darkness and silence, and I learn, whatever state I may be in, therein to be content. Your success and happiness lies in you. Resolve to keep happy, and your joy and you shall form an invincible host against difficulties. Security is mostly a superstition. It does not exist in nature, nor do the children of men as a whole experience it. Avoiding danger is no safer in the long run than outright exposure. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing. Avoiding danger is no safer in the long run than outright exposure. The fearful are caught as often as the bold. True happiness is not attained through self-gratification, but through fidelity to a worthy purpose. Love is like a beautiful flower which I may not touch, but whose fragrance makes the garden a place of delight just the same. It is wonderful how much time good people spend fighting the devil. If they would only expend the same amount of energy loving their fellow men, the devil would die in his own tracks of ennui. Death is no more than passing from one room into another. But there's a difference for me, you know. Because in that other room I shall be able to see. I long to accomplish a great and noble task, but it is my chief duty to accomplish small tasks as if they were great and noble. Until the great mass of the people shall be filled with the sense of responsibility for each other's welfare, social justice can never be attained. No pessimist ever discovered the secret of the stars, or sailed to an uncharted land, or opened a new doorway for the human spirit. To me, a lush carpet of pine needles or spongy grass is more welcome than the most luxurious Persian rug. When we do the best that we can, we never know what miracle is wrought in our life, or in the life of another. Literature is my utopia. Here I am not disenfranchised. No barrier of the senses shuts me out from the sweet, gracious discourses of my book friends. They talk to me without embarrassment or awkwardness. Once I knew only darkness and stillness. My life was without past or future, but a little word from the fingers of another fell into my hand that clutched at emptiness, and my heart leapt to the rapture of living. The marvelous richness of human experience would lose something of rewarding joy if there were no limitations to overcome. The hilltop hour would not be half so wonderful if there were no dark valleys to traverse. I do not want the peace which passeth understanding. I want the understanding which bringeth peace. I can see, and that is why I can be happy. in what you call the dark, but which to me is golden. I can see a God-made world, not a man-made world. There is no king who has not had a slave among his ancestors, and no slave who has not had a king among his. The world is moved along, not only by the mighty shoves of its heroes, but also by the aggregate of tiny pushes of each honest worker. Smell is a potent wizard that transports you across thousands of miles in all the years you have lived. Science may have found a cure for most evils, but it has found no remedy for the worst of them all, the apathy of human beings. People do not like to think. If one thinks, one must reach conclusions. Conclusions are not always pleasant. Toleration is the greatest gift of the mind. It requires the same effort of the brain that it takes to balance oneself on a bicycle. Many persons have a wrong idea of what constitutes true happiness. It is not attained through self-gratification, but through fidelity to a worthy purpose. We may have found a cure for most evils, but we have found no remedy for the worst of them all, the apathy of human beings. I seldom think about my limitations, and they never make me sad. Perhaps there is just a touch of yearning at times, but it is vague, like a breeze among flowers. It is for us to pray not for tasks equal to our powers, but for powers equal to our tasks, to go forward with a great desire forever beating at the door of our hearts as we travel toward our distant goal. It is not possible for civilization to flow backwards while there is youth in the world. Youth may be headstrong, but it will advance at allotted length. Many people know so little about what is beyond their short range of experience. They look within themselves and find nothing. Therefore they conclude that there is nothing outside themselves either. Unless we form the habit of going to the Bible in bright moments as well as in trouble, we cannot fully respond to its consolations because we lack equilibrium between light and darkness. Instead of comparing our lot with that of those who are more fortunate than we are, we should compare it with the lot of the great majority of our fellow men. It then appears that we are among the privileged. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.